My children are dead." That's what the woman whispered to the 911 operator, softly, without emotion. It was October 4th, 2006. The voice on the other end belonged to Frances Elaine Campion. She calmly repeated her words, even when asked what had happened. "I don't know. I don't remember." There was no panic, no tears, just stillness. Police rushed to her apartment in Barrie, Ontario. What they found behind the door would haunt them forever. Elaine greeted the officers with a flat expression. She invited them in as if nothing was wrong. Then she pointed toward the bedroom and said, "They're on my bed." Inside, the room was quiet, too quiet. Lying side by side were two young girls, 3-year-old Serena and 19-month-old Sophia. Their skin had begun to turn cold and blue, but their clothes were spotless. Their tiny earrings glimmered under the ceiling light. Each child had been carefully dressed, like dolls being tucked in for the night. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, no broken furniture, just a faint bruise on Sophia's forehead, and silence. But in another room, officers found something that shattered that silence: a camcorder. What was on it explained everything. The first recording was sweet. Elaine was celebrating Serena's 3rd birthday. She sang to her, laughed with her, filmed her unwrapping a shiny new bicycle. Serena was smiling, happy, safe.
Hi Serena, it's August 8th, 2006. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Serena. Happy birthday to you. Serena's 3 today. Yay! Shall we go to the living room and see if you got any birthday presents from the birthday fairies?
Yes!
Okay, let's go.
I have to go.
What is it?
It's a bike.
The next video showed Elaine playing with both of her daughters. Ordinary moments, giggles, hugs.
I love you.
This much.
Oh, I love you more than that.
But then came the third clip. The light in the room changed. Elaine's expression was different. Her voice, sharper. The date was October 2nd, just 2 days before the tragedy, and everything felt off. Elaine began speaking directly to the camera. Her tone was angry, scattered, desperate.
You can't see through the camera, boo-boo. Oh, yes, this is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah. I think Diego Campion is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins. The same as Leonardo. All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo Campion, and then the past year from Anna and Diego Campion, the mental and emotional abuse, which wouldn't stop, and I had CAS keep bringing these 2 people into my life over and over again when I kept telling them the amount of mental and emotional abuse it was causing my 3-year-old daughter Serena and I and Sophia. It was horrible and uncalled for, and I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help. They should have.
She ranted about her ex-husband, about betrayal, about fear. She blamed people by name, accused them of tormenting her, emotionally and mentally. She claimed her daughters were suffering too. She begged for someone to listen, said no one believed her, not family, not the authorities, not even child services. Her paranoia had consumed her, and it was unfolding in real time on video. She spoke about past abuse, about being isolated, ignored, silenced. She said she only ever wanted to raise her girls and be left in peace. But the pain kept building, and soon there would be no peace left to give. Later that same night, after ending the recording, she did the unthinkable. Then one final recording was made. It wasn't a confession, it was a goodbye. The footage is haunting.
Recording this because Leo and I are very happy. Everything is gone. the truth. I begged. Even had Stacy not believing me, telling her I had to sign papers when I didn't. I went to victim witness to get the truth. Trying, begging everyone the truth. How you beat me. 3 years behind closed doors, beat me when I was pregnant with Serena and Sophia. You didn't care about our babies. You didn't care about me. You care about yourself. You wanted to win. You won. Are you happy? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Because it doesn't make me feel great. I've lost everything my whole life.
Elaine stares into the camera. Her face is gaunt, her eyes distant. You wouldn't tell the truth. I begged for help. I tried everything. But you wanted to win. You won. Her voice trembles. Her words blur into sobs. I've lost everything.
I tried to overdose.
That means the remodeling time at the Aurelia and Greenbridge stores. They are changing the displays. Now is the time to make a great deal on an Ontario-made hydro-cooled hot tub. In stock models, floor models, or custom orders, everything has a sale price. Pool Spa Sauna Showroom, making waves. In Aurelia, Greenbridge, and soon to be in Huntsville. You can also check them out on the web at poolspasaunashowroom.com.
My whole life. At one point, she tries to end her own life, but the tape cuts out. Elaine was arrested on the spot. The found footage became the centerpiece of the investigation, silent testimony to a mind that had unraveled behind closed doors. She was charged and sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 25 years. To this day, she remains locked away. Some tragedies don't come with screams, some monsters don't come from outside. Sometimes, the most terrifying stories happen quietly, behind a closed door, in a home that once held laughter, and sometimes, the camera is still rolling. Some tapes should never be watched. Some truths are too heavy to carry. One cold January morning in 2005, a man named Martin opened his mailbox to find a package he didn't recognize. No return address, no note, just a plain, unmarked videotape. Curious and unsettled, he slid it into his camcorder and hit play. What he saw left him frozen. A man appeared on screen surrounded by crude tools, duct tape, a soldering iron, gags, a padded drill. He spoke directly to the camera with an eerie calm, detailing plans to carry out something violent. Not fantasy, not fiction. He showed how he'd silence his drill, how he'd trap his victims, how he'd make sure no one heard a thing. But what shook Martin the most was the face on the tape. It was someone he knew. The man in the video was his close friend, Ricky Rodriguez, a man with a deeply buried past that was about to erupt.
I'm not trained in torture methods, which is what I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. The reason why it's got this padding on it is just to try to silence it a bit because I'm in an apartment. I got gags, socks, I got lots of duct tape. I got a soldering iron, sheets. It's rather crude implements. I think can work wonders, especially if it's used in the right way.
This wasn't just a manifesto. It was a farewell, a final, haunting confession. And it came with a mission, to reveal the truth about the horrors he had endured and the vengeance he was prepared to unleash.
I am making this video, well, for many reasons, I guess. I suppose the main reason is that I want there to be some record of the way I feel, my ideas, just who I was, really.
Ricky's nightmare began the day he was born in 1975. Raised from birth in a secretive cult that masked itself in spiritual language, Ricky was thrust into a role he never asked for, a chosen child handed to the group's leader and paraded as a symbol of purity. But behind closed doors, what he experienced was anything but divine. From a young age, he was subjected to relentless psychological and physical torment. The people who claimed to love him used him, manipulated him, broke him. By the time he reached adulthood, the damage was done, but his will to escape remained. In 1999, Ricky fled to the U.S., leaving everything behind. He started fresh, got a job, fell in love, built a new life from the ashes of the old. But the past never let him go. The images, the voices, the things done in secret behind smiling faces. They followed him, haunted him. He tried to move on, but some pain can't be silenced. In early 2005, Ricky made a decision. He sat down in front of his camera and began to document what he was about to do. His voice was steady, too steady.
There's this need that I have. This need, it's not a want, it's a need. And I wish it wasn't, but it is. It's a need for revenge. It's a need for justice. Because I can't go on like this.
He showed the tools he'd prepared. He explained his plan. There was no rage, no screaming, just a cold resolve. Then he mailed the tape to a handful of people who knew him best. That same night, he invited someone into his home, someone from his past, someone who had been there when the worst of it happened. Angela. She arrived. She sat down. And she never left. What happened behind those walls has never been fully revealed. What we do know is this. By morning, she was gone. And Ricky was on the road. He drove deep into the desert, found a quiet motel, called his wife, and broke down. In that final call, he admitted what no one expected. Revenge hadn't brought peace. It hadn't silenced the screams in his head. If anything, it made them louder.
I can imagine how I would feel, how liberating it would be.
The next morning, police found his car in a remote parking lot. Inside was Ricky. He had ended everything, but the story doesn't end there. The video he left behind still exists. A chilling, hour-long descent into the mind of a man forever scarred by things no one should ever experience. It's not just a confession. It's a warning. And the group that broke him? Still out there. Still hiding behind closed doors. Some nightmares don't end when you wake up. Some get passed on. Years ago, the Bureau of Land Management released a chilling PSA to deter thrill-seekers from exploring abandoned mines. The video was full of grim warnings, unstable tunnels, toxic gases, wild animals, and sudden cave-ins. But nothing in that warning was more disturbing than what came next. Actual found footage from July 4th, 1998, filmed by a group of young men who decided to venture into an abandoned mine in Nevada, just for fun. From the moment they hit record, you could tell they knew this was a bad idea. One of them even pointed at the mine sign, "Stay out, stay alive." Yeah, well, we're not that smart. And with a laugh, they stepped into the darkness. It started off lighthearted. Jokes, trash talk, nervous laughter echoing through the tunnels. But the deeper they went, the quieter things became. Their flashlight beams revealed rotting wooden beams, jagged rock walls, and eerie symbols spray-painted along the path. They found old warning signs, evidence of cave-ins, bridges barely holding together.
You look at all this, there's lots of rocks and stuff that have fallen from the ceiling, which indicates that probably a good idea to be walking this way. And, well, they've already fallen, so they're not going to fall again. Well, there's more to fall still.
The rocks already fell, one of them muttered, so they probably won't fall again. That was the logic keeping them going. But this wasn't some harmless YouTube challenge. These weren't trained explorers. They were just a group of teens chasing a thrill and filming every step of it. It wasn't long before the excitement started to shift into fear.
Yeah, we got to remember where we're... Okay, we got out here.
Who painted these X's in the clip?
Grant.
What do they mean?
Dead end.
Okay, they're all got an X on them.
We can go this way.
That one's got an X. But it's also got that. What does the diamond mean?
Where's that go?
Goes down.
Along there.
Ooh, that's not a little.
Well, it'd be kind of hard if you slipped and fell. You could catch yourself before you actually fell down there.
Not if panic set in and you spin that little girl.
Deep in the mine, they began to realize just how lost they really were. Miles of tunnels twisted in every direction, some marked with cryptic spray-painted X and diamonds. Where do they lead? Which ones did we come from? What if we can't get back?
Got them pipe. Oh, wow. We have to climb that?
Yeah, don't everybody get up.
I got
You don't need to let me on the floor.
This is going to America's Funniest when somebody falls. That's a good idea. All right. Oh, that table, don't touch that.
Panic set in. Toxic air, radioactive dust, claustrophobia, dehydration, every second underground became more dangerous than the last. And then, they found the rope. It was dangling from a wooden beam above a massive open shaft. One of them leaned over the edge, squinting down into the blackness. So, we're climbing down that? How far is it? 30 feet? 50?
It's down to the main shaft. Wow, so we're climbing down this rope.
Yeah. How far down?
How are we getting out of it?
Climbing up it.
I see.
What's down there? Their curiosity won again, and that's when Adam stepped forward. Adam volunteered to go first. No harness, no climbing experience, just a frayed rope and teenage confidence. His friends watched, filming as he lowered himself down into the unknown. For a moment, it seemed like everything was going fine. Until the rope snapped, a scream, a crash, and then silence.
How far down does it go?
All the way down to that ladder you were saying now?
We're
Like a good 30 feet.
We're like gonna hook this
I'll go
camera.
first. I am. About 200 feet. You don't like to break out. You don't like to... Put it like he's doing it into your mouth. Yeah. It's all like this. Is it off now?
No. How am I gonna get the thing down there? Yeah, but how am I gonna get back up? I don't have...
Take that. Give you my belt. Stretch on it. Adam! Oh! Adam! Oh! Adam!
Yes.
Adam! Oh, God.
Oh God, somebody help.
Adam!
Adam plummeted 65 feet down the shaft, vanishing into the dark. The camera scrambled. One boy cried out for help. Another kept whispering his name over and over. Adam! Adam, please answer. When they finally peered over the edge, they saw him, crumpled, motionless, somehow still breathing. He was unconscious, but alive. The group immediately abandoned the rest of their adventure, desperately searching for a way out. Hours later, authorities were contacted. A full rescue mission was launched. It took multiple teams and specialized equipment to retrieve Adam from the depths of the shaft. A few broken bones, a concussion, cuts, scratches. But he survived. It was nothing short of a miracle, but it could have gone very differently. The shaft could have been 100 feet deep. He could have struck his head on the way down. If the rope had snapped while the last person descended, they all could have been stranded. No signal, no food, no way out. They could have been found weeks later, or never at all. The footage ends with a shaky handheld shot of the exit, the sunlight bleeding through. Their voices, shaky but laughing again. The kind of laughter you hear from people who just brushed up against death. They got lucky. That's all it was. That footage became part of the Bureau's official warning, a brutal, real-life reminder of what waits beneath the surface of these forgotten tombs of stone and steel. Because in abandoned mines, you're not just walking into danger, you're walking into a trap with no guarantee of escape. Some tunnels don't lead back to daylight, some ropes don't hold. And sometimes all it takes to vanish forever is a single step into the dark. The blue hole in Dahab, Egypt looks peaceful, sunlight reflecting on calm waters, a gateway to a diver's paradise. But that surface calm is a lie. Beneath it lies one of the deadliest underwater graveyards on Earth, a vertical shaft that drops hundreds of feet into pitch-black nothingness. It has claimed the lives of countless divers, earning its name with blood. And in the year 2000, one man decided to dive it alone, armed with nothing but his gear, a camera, and a dangerous sense of confidence. Yuri Lipsky was a 22-year-old diving instructor, skilled, ambitious, and obsessed with reaching the depths of the blue hole, a place even experienced divers treat with caution. Local professionals warned him the dive was far too risky. Weeks of planning were required, specialized gas mixes, redundant safety systems. Yuri gave himself 2 days. Then he dove alone. His GoPro footage, recovered later, showed everything. It began smoothly. He swam through the arch, breathing steadily, but then he began descending. deeper than safe limits, into the black. And the deeper he went, the stranger things became. The nitrogen in his tank began to poison his brain. Disorientation kicked in. At that depth, even a trained diver can lose all sense of direction or reality. You can see it on camera. His movements become erratic. He looks around like he's lost in space. He tries to ascend, but it's too late. His mind is slipping. His body is sinking. Then comes the moment of pure panic. He inflates his buoyancy control device, trying to stop the fall. It explodes. The pressure at that depth tore it apart. Now there's no way up. The water becomes a vacuum, pulling him deeper. He begins to flail. His breathing gets louder, more desperate. You can hear it in the footage, the sound of someone realizing they are about to die. No screams, no final words, just the rattling breaths of a man crushed by darkness. He sinks all the way to the ocean floor, 115 meters down, where the camera keeps recording in eerie silence. When his body was found, it was almost peacefully posed, as if resting. But the truth behind that image is horrifying. Yuri was conscious long enough to understand that no one was coming, that he would never see the surface again, that he'd be swallowed whole by the one thing he tried to conquer. Rescue divers recovered the footage, and what they saw became infamous in diving communities worldwide. Not because of gore, not because of spectacle, but because it captured something few ever witness. The moment someone realizes they're truly, hopelessly doomed. Yuri's final dive has become a grim legend, a haunting lesson. Divers still visit the blue hole, and some even survive it. But no one forgets what happened to the man who dared to challenge the abyss alone. Because in places like the blue hole, the ocean doesn't rage. It waits and it takes.